Welcome to Balls Like Gaming. This is a very, very different setup from what you're probably used to. We are actually together for once. So as always, I am Lee, and I can actually point to him.
I'm Yav.
So yeah, guys, we've been able to actually get together now because restrictions and things have been lifted, and this will be the format going forward. We'll be able to do this together, which will obviously help things as well, sort of technically and that. So if the sound is kind of wackadoodle in this one, it's something that we're going to have to work on over the next few weeks, and we'll get better. Um, but other than that, we'll just kick in as we always do. So what do you
Working? Yeah, no, joking. Not like usual. Playing a lot of Tarkov.
Tarkov?
I think we're both playing a lot of Tarkov. I got bored of WoW, so it's Tarkov.
Yeah, yeah. We've both been playing Escape from Tarkov. I bought it last week. Was
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So last week, I bought Escape from Tarkov. So, been enjoying it. It's been a game that I've actually been watching for time. You've had it.
I've had it for about 2 years.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of it. You know, I've been watching a lot of the streamers and stuff playing it. So, it was a game that I wanted to pick up, and I just bit the bullet and got it, and haven't regretted. Like I've been enjoying it a lot. Like we've been having a good laugh and some frustrating nights too on
A
it
lot
though.
of frustrating nights.
Yeah.
Andrew Wilson. Who-
Yeah, there's very different play styles amongst our group. Most people would like to.
well, there's two different play types.
Yeah.
There's the smart, and then there's the Andy, and that's it.
Yeah, it's so basically the play styles that we kind of are is like stealthing about, taking it easy, engaging when you need to.
Well, we're not going to just go in there to back out
No.
without no fights.
No, absolutely not. So we will be strategic, probably is the term. Whereas we've started playing with one of our friends, Andy, and his is balls to the wall, run at the nearest enemy, and start shooting.
Not even. He just aims, and like, his finger doesn't come off the W button like until he's dead. Because it's very rarely he gets out alive, so it's just when he's dead, he just keeps running.
But I do love Andy's approach to it. After he dies and you've had this big mad shootout, he's like, "That was great fun."
Big fights, big fights. Like Andy all dies, like big fights,
big fights.
Big fights.
Even though the game's primarily about getting stuff, not just going in to die.
You're in the minus, and it's like good fights, minus rubles. Good fights.
But yeah, no, we've been having a lot of fun in that. That's kind of been our.
I've even had so much fun as spend €100 on it. €100, boys.
He
Big dick version.
he bought the big dick version, which is also the idiot version. That is a lot of money to spend on digital content, in my opinion. You know, £100 is what you spend on like collector's editions, and you'd get, you know, like you can't see it on stream, but I have a big Batman statue in the corner. That was £80.
Yeah,
came with the game.
Yeah, but that Batman statue doesn't give you stash space, man. You know, where are you going to store all those AKs?
Yeah, well, this is the thing.
Or are you going to store all like shit gear to go on Andy with, so you loot it all and you don't mind?
Well, that is one problem with it. You know, it kind of does in a way. I can see why you bought the big dick of edition, because I am struggling. I'm with staff.
Same with Nafe as well. Like, it's hard to actually get everything there. You know, if you want to have all your rigs and all.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have to spend time on getting, put all the stuff into the bags and rigs, and then when you use them, you have to back out.
Yep.
Spend it's all inventory management.
And that's the bit I'm really, really, really struggling on. It's difficult, especially with your limited stash. Obviously, you can expand your stash with upgrades and things, but the things that you need to upgrade, those are quite hard to find.
Very hard to find, yeah.
Yeah. So
you do spend half of it, like 10% shooting people, 90% Tetris.
Yeah, it is. It is literally like a very not as fun game of Tetris, trying to move its fit. But I am enjoying it. It is really good fun. It's hard. It is really hard. It's not for the casual game at all.
Definitely not.
It is not a casual game. It's very intense. It's very, very strategic. It's very, very real. You know, there's been many a times I have literally died within the first couple of minutes of playing the game, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. In Call of Duty, you get shot and you sponge a couple of bullets and you hide behind a wall and you can maybe regain some to actually pop around and kill someone. Not in this game.
You respawn in 15 seconds. Not in this game.
No.
It's so real that I lost an arm last night. Real life. Yeah, messed it back on though. We're all good.
It's crazy intense and crazy real. You know, you'll get shot, you get pinged in the head and you're dead. Game over.
You don't even know where it came from.
You don't know where it came from. You don't even hear the shot. You've literally died before the shot is actually hit. Or sorry, you actually hear the sound, so you're already dead. It is crazy intense. So not for your casual gamer, but for anyone that is really into first person shooters, into kind of battle royale.
It's very it's basically like a battle royale but more simulation based.
Yeah.
If you love gunplay, because you can pretty much take all the guns apart and then just do unlimited amounts of gun
Customization is it's the in terms of a game. I don't think any game will ever come close.
No,
There's
definitely
nothing on the market that will come to that level of customization. You literally can do exactly what you do in real life. You have to buy the part, buy in real life to customize a gun. It is insane. So many different variations and all that. But it's definitely something for if you're into your first person shooter, the guns, you're into that sort of battle royale style game. It's definitely one to pick up, not casually. You really do have to take it seriously.
Yeah, and it gets the blood pump.
It does.
There's nothing about sitting and doing a nighttime map with night vision on all uses.
You should see you should see how it's my hands sweating insane. It's like soaking with sweat because you're like it's so intense because you know that any move you make, you're dead. You know you could it's literally a 50-50 chance you will die. It's crazy. It's good fun though. Really really enjoying it.
It no sweat left, big white streaky snail marks on it too.
Oh yeah, it does, man.
Must be something else on it.
Fucking sweat all over it, man.
That's not what I'm implying, but
I know it. I know it's not what you're implying, but that is sweat. Because that's all I'm doing. Friggin' Tarkov. That's all we've been doing the last number of weeks. Or well, last week or
so. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of in terms of games. That's what we've been playing.
I don't think I've played anything else actually.
I haven't definitely.
I've not played anything either.
No, there's definitely. I played Rainbow Six probably a couple of weeks ago. But since I got Tarkov, I haven't went back to it.
Oh, I was playing Last of Us for
a
few hours, which was good. I need to go back on that. It's not as if I got bored of it, it's just that Tarkov takes up so much of your time.
Yeah, I finished Last of Us Part 2 as well. May as well talk about that. I am not going to do a spoiler review. I'm just going to give a quick overview because he hasn't played the first one and obviously doesn't the second one. But fantastic. I have to say. It was like literally playing a movie. Very, very good. And not in the bad way. Not in the bad way that is sense that your quick time events and cutscenes, it's not like that. It's more like the way the story is directed and the way the game plays out is very movie, very Hollywood, just really intense, really good set pieces. Story was fantastic. Characters. The only problem is it did have one problem with one of the characters. Right? Because there's been other stuff coming out about that, but I'll quickly go over because obviously Yaf doesn't really know what I'm talking about. He only kind of knows what he's heard in the news. But so in the game, it's not a spoiler, but you play as two different characters. So in the first game, you play as Joel, which he has done. Who Joel is.
Yep.
In the second game, you play as Ellie. She's grown up. It's set after the first one. And you play as half the game as a girl called Abby. She is like you play basically both sides. You play Ellie, who is the good guy, Abby, who is the guy.
Okay.
So you play both sides. So you get the experience why Abby's doing certain things and why certain things and how those stories intertwine with each other. Which I think is really good storytelling. You know, it starts to make you doubt if Ellie's actually the good guy. You start to sort of be like, and you start to really doubt that, you know, because Ellie and Joel were the heroes of the first one. You know, you love those characters, but people are taking it a bit too literally. If I can say that properly, literally. So there's been some terrible stuff going on. So Laura Bailey, who does the voice acting for Abby, who is the bad guy, she has received death threats. People who have played the game and obviously don't agree with her character's views or her character in general, and how she obviously, you know, her and Ellie do obviously cross paths and there's fighting and things like that. But people literally have sent their death threats based on that, which I think is madness. Now, me and him have talked about this. It's like you use the example of people going Alan Rickman as being Severus Snape, or in Die Hard when he's Hans Gruber, going, oh, I hate you, Hans, and I hate this, and it's like, but he's a character, he's an actor, and this woman is receiving death threats based on a trail of a character. What?
No, I'm pretty sure Alan Rickman didn't hocus pocus Dumbledore, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's to me that's crazy. All good stuff for her in the sense that she played it clear so well that people believe somehow that Last of Us is real, even though we live in the world that it's set in, and it's not post-apocalyptic. There's not zombies running around clicking.
What are you on about? I had to come onto the stairs to get here.
The clickers and all.
Go
on. But yeah, great game. I don't want to really go in too much detail because I don't want to ruin it for anyone that hasn't played it or him. But very, very good for those who loved the first one. Play the second. Well worth it. There is a lot of trolling going on around it. I know that. Critics. It's got critical acclaim. It to me it deserves it. Giving it a bit of stink. And there's certain elements of the stink I can understand. The ending, there's a thing about the ending people weren't too happy with, without giving anything away. I get that, but I do think that it wrapped up quite nicely. It wrapped up very Last of Us. It wrapped up in the same sort of style as the first one.
It was just one of the reviews I read before even playing the first. Someone said it was too long of a story playing game. So like, spend 60 quid on this, I'd like to think it was like 30 hours long.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. It is about 30 hours. And the story is like very long, but it's because you're playing sides of it. You basically play. So again, I'm not giving anything away, but you play 4 days as Ellie, then you play the same Abby. Play the flip side.
Yeah.
So you do. So you see what each of Ellie's looking for. Them see. Yes. So it is really good. I thought it was great. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and for anyone that loved the first one, you have to play the second. Very good.
I guess people just like paying 60 quid for games, getting 10 hours of storytelling, and have to buy 60 quid worth of DLCs.
So I think what people want now is pay 60 quid for a game, get, as you said, 10 hours of single player, but it has to have a multiplayer. That's the thing, is Last of Us doesn't player, and that's what they're probably. It's a story game to me. The multiplayer is an, if they did put it in, it would be an added extra, and I wouldn't play it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the most part people playing for the story probably wouldn't play it. Like you said, there's other games you're going to play multiplayer, and you're not going to go play competitive.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's like an added bonus. It's like Gears of War. Gears of War, great story, pretty good multiplayer, but I ban it for the. I don't buy it for the multiplayer. Whereas Call of Duty and stuff, you buy that for the multiplayer. You don't buy it for the story. Even though the story of it was really good. I thought it was brilliant. I hope they keep that rolling because that was good. It was a lot better. But yeah, it's one of those things. So people gurning about things being, to me, that's very stupid.
Yeah,
very stupid. But you can't please everyone. This is the world that we live in.
Especially something that's been in pipeline for what 7 years.
Yeah,
since the last one was announced, pretty much, or the first one came out. So I mean. Not like 6 years and they give you like half an hour story.
No, they give a good
£100 worth of DLCs.
They give a good 30 hours of story, and
that's what you want.
Yeah, that to me that and it was good story. It wasn't just crap. It'd be different if you were playing something that was crap, but it wasn't crap. It was really good. It kept me engaged. Like I wanted to. That's how good it was. I wanted to find out.
You didn't play anything else. Like you just wanted to fly.
I literally kept playing it. I couldn't put it down. I thought it was brilliant. But yeah, but the actors getting stick for acting a character, to me, that's just baffling. It really does make no sense whatsoever. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But yeah, that I'll move on from The Last of Us because I don't want to give any spoilers and ruin it for anyone, including him. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't mind for it. It'd be more.
Yeah. And likelihood is I probably won't even complete The First of Us.
Yeah, because you're
the first of us. The First of Us. The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. They should have called it that.
They should have, yeah.
The First of Us.
The First of Us, and then the addition is The Last of Us because I'm probably gonna be the last person on Earth to complete it.
You need to finish that. You do.
Aye.
I did, and this all came from this podcast, as I actually told him to play the first one. Do you remember before the second one came out? But he can't put down at the
And
minute.
put Tarkov down.
I think you'd play it if it was on PC.
Probably not, because I've been meaning to play The Witcher, and
Oh, The
I have it
Witcher,
installed
great
from
game too.
months ago, and I haven't even played it.
Yeah, that's another game you should play as well. The Witcher's, especially the third one,
I told,
Wild Hunt.
yeah, well, that's the
Yeah.
one to download. I told Smiley to get it because he's waiting for Cyberpunk, and he tested like that.
Oh,
Put back, so I was like, we'll play that in the meantime
Witcher.
because
Yep.
it'll fill
Same.
that gap.
CD Projekt Red. Yeah, great developers. Yeah, the unfortunately Cyberpunk did get delayed again to November.
It's not as if it's delayed for like 3 years. You know what I mean? It's a couple of months away. Like,
To me, it makes sense for that sort of thing. It's different for them because CD Projekt Red. I know they've grown now, but when they first started, they made like the first 50. Like
was it even that much?
it mightn't even have been. But they did really. I know the team's grown like 3 for Cyberpunk, but I'd rather they've released a polished, perfect game.
Well, obviously they've like the Corona and stuff. There must be some things that slip past the cracks, and obviously they want more polishing, which I mean, I'm gonna buy it up, just because obviously I'm not a big single player game player, but hype of this is I think everyone's gonna buy it.
Yeah, I think it'd be silly not
to. I mean, you're gonna spend 60 quid in the game, might as well get it polished. There's nothing worse than like sitting for like 50 gig of day one updates, right? Or week updates. You may as well get it.
Not even that.
Solid.
You look at I'll give you a quick example. Fallout 76. That was rushed. Look how broke.
I think it works well now. People say it, but no one plays
it. But that's the problem is when they release it, broke.
Yeah. Well, I did play it from day one.
Yep.
Me and Alex bought it, and it was fairly decent, but nothing to do.
But that's the thing is you'd rather release a game that has content, has things polished, works, than a game that is broke, takes a year to fix, and then no one's playing it.
Yep, but then again, they bring out like a £30 DLC for it.
Yeah. No. Bethesda have lost the plot to me, but I think they lost the plot.
A story for another day.
Yeah, another story for another day. Like, we should bring Ethan on that one.
Ways he loved them. Oh no, right, fair enough. Yeah, we'll bring him on for that.
Ethan is the biggest Skyrim fan. Like, he loved Bethesda. Skyrim was like his game. He thinks is probably one of the best games ever made, and I can probably see why. It is probably one of the best games.
I've played it for like 5 minutes, turned it off. Not because it was bad, it just didn't captivate me. But I mean, if loads of other people love it, and like I knew a guy I used to work with, and he's played it through about 20 times. He only played 2 games before he bought a PlayStation 4. He's played Red Dead 1 and Skyrim, and that's all he played. So I mean, must be stuff in it to captivate you to play it for like 10 years.
I played it a bit. Like, I didn't put as many hours in as a lot of people did, but he put in. And in the last couple of years, he has become very disillusioned. He is not a big fan of Todd Hard.
1 to 2.
Yeah, whatever his name is. He's not a big fan of him.
If we get Ethan on, though, we're gonna have to do the stream at night.
Yeah,
it's quite during the day.
But yeah, so that whole Last of Us and that. But yeah, Cyberpunk, will be looking forward to that, and we will give our reviews of that when that comes out. I'll probably give a review. He'll play it for 10 minutes and stop playing it because it's not a multiplayer game.
It is, but just not at launch.
Oh, yeah, a year, they said.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be mad if it was. We're always going to play it, but sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks great. But yeah, other than that, the last couple of weeks there has been, well, the day after our last podcast, the crap happened because obviously we last talked about Mixer closing down. Last podcast, and Ninja and Shroud what they were going to do next. I think the day after.
Yeah, we literally just got it recorded and stuff, and then like whole hell broke loose.
All hell broke loose. Doctor disrespect.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just before that happened. The allegations.
Oh, with that too.
Stuff came out, and then
the
streaming world just got fucked up.
We'll start on the allegations probably because that did come first. I forgot about that. And it's not a good thing that I forgot about that. But yeah, the allegations. So
we touched on it 2 weeks ago.
I think we touched on it because there was a lot of rumors, but nothing actually concrete came out.
Okay.
But we'll breeze over it because it's not something I want to spend a lot of time on.
If you've heard it before, then just flame us.
Yeah.
Just flame us in the comments.
Yeah. No, that's fine. We'll take that. Yeah, no, it's the streaming world kind of got turned upside down. There was not nice allegations, at all against a number of very well-renowned streamers.
Not even just streamers, like people in the esports world of like some commentators and some like stage hosts and stuff. Not going to mention names, but it's all coming out now. You know, people abusing their power, keeping other people down, and obviously there's some sexual allegations out there. You know, so there's a lot there.
Yeah,
that's not good stuff. Like
no. So there's been a lot of that thrown about. And in amongst all that, then Doc basically vanished. Dr. Disrespect, probably, arguably, the biggest streamer probably in the world, minus the likes of Ninja Shroud.
I wouldn't even say Shroud would even. And you know, yes, he's popular, but I mean, bringing the same amount of people Doc does. You know, when you think of streaming, you think Ninja.
Yeah.
And Doc.
Yeah.
Because obviously they've got their two characters on their own.
Yeah.
Where Shroud kind of just plays himself. You know, obviously.
Yeah,
Doc
true.
is playing to a character.
Yeah. But he basically up and left us. But then it came out not long after that he had actually been banned from Twitch, and from what we can tell, it's a permanent ban. Now, for anyone that doesn't know and doesn't really follow the streaming world, Dr. Disrespect has had a bit of controversy throughout the years. The most recent one, he got banned from Twitch for was it Comic-Con?
It was one of the cons. It's TwitchCon or something
TwitchCon,
like that.
yeah.
And obviously, I think his video guy followed him into a toilet.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was nothing to see, but obviously, I don't think he was at the time that
it broke the terms of service of Twitch.
Yeah, in their terms and conditions somewhere in some small print is you cannot board in toilets, which makes sense. But
obviously,
it's nothing that you would sort of.
No, you wouldn't. It wouldn't be something that would be in the forefront of your mind.
And it wouldn't be intentional either.
No, it was. You know, I think the video guy was just following him about. It was just like a thing, and he followed him in the toilet. Live on Twitch, banned. He got banned, and he was banned for a good wee while.
For a week or something like that, there, you know.
And then they reinstated, and he came back. Obviously, he had to appeal it and things like that. You know, mistakes happen, but this time is very, very different.
Very different.
So he finished his last stream in a very peculiar way. Basically, that he kind of, it was as if he knew it was coming, but then he stopped the stream and tweeted. Or no, sorry. Then the announcement came out that he'd been banned, and his channel was removed. Which is gone. You can't actually get on his channel anymore. Then he tweeted saying, "We'll get through this." Champions Club, which is the name of his like following. And
his wife tweeted that or something, or something.
His wife
Instagram or something.
Yeah, his wife posted
cheers for all the support or something.
Yeah, and then he tweeted saying, "We'll get through this Champions Club" or something. And then, apart from that, there was one other tweet about which still hadn't let him know why he had been banned, which I think is very peculiar. But then that's it.
Yeah, I think it's just all a bit strange because you think if unless there's obviously a lot of like red tape around the whole thing, you would really think that speaking more and about it. If you got banned and it was your livelihood, and you're getting paid big money, and then all of a sudden,
gone,
no money, all the subs got refunded.
Yep, which is not good sign either.
Which is not a good sign either. Like and obviously, arguably, probably had the most subs on Twitch. Probably did, or close to it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money. Like,
I the thing is, as well, is there's still, I think he tweeted that we looked at it just before we started. It was the 20th of June, so it's been over 2 weeks, and there's been
pretty sure now that he's been removed off all his sponsors. I know he was removed from Discord sponsorship, and I think a couple of other ones removed them and put him back. But apparently, I've heard that he's been properly. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, write in the comments, but I think he's been removed from everything now.
Sure.
So that doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't look good, and that's the thing is, at the minute, I think it is actually worse for him in terms of his career that there hasn't been any statements made or any sort of indication of why he was banned. Because it's now get to the point where people are speculating, and they're speculating the worst.
Yeah. And I mean, when it comes to that, it basically means that, like Lee said, a lot of speculation. But if it still hasn't come out yet, I'd like, especially when no one else, there's apparently people, you can tell, people says we know, can't say, probably don't know, but probably people close to him, things that got there,
I know it is blurry. I'm sorry.
There we go, we're back.
My computer went into standby and never does that. Something, but as you say, it's like no one has actually come out and said, this is why or that is why. it has literally been radio silence from Twitch, from Dr. Disrespect, and anyone that represents him. Literally anyone that could really shine any type of light on why he's been banned. And the problem is that now, because it's went on for so long, people do think he's done something really bad. And obviously, it was in amongst all that other stuff.
Started coming out,
yeah, so it's like, did he do something? And because maybe he's got a bit of protection, because maybe he's a better lawyer, maybe, they could protect the police and things like that. You really don't know. There was a rumor then, because Mixer shut down, Crowd, him removing Spotify.
Powered by Google.
Yeah, so basically Spotify apparently are starting their own streaming platform. All speculation.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because obviously a bit of background about, because obviously they got Joe Rogan. So obviously they're wanting to become not just a music streaming service; they're wanting to be a one-stop shop for everything.
Yeah. So that it made sense. It fitted that sense, whole that thing. And obviously when Ninja and Shroud leave and Mixer because of the shutdown, that would be a big play for Spotify / Google
to be able to grab the three biggest streamers in the world.
Immediately you have the three big boys. So that would have been a huge play.
Yeah.
But now, moving on from that, Ninja has went to YouTube. He literally just made an announcement. Shroud still lost, and nothing from Shroud. So yeah, like Ninja's moved to YouTube, so that kind of shuts down that rumor that potentially that the reason that we didn't know what was going on with Doc was because there's a lot of red tape around the whole agreements around them moving from Twitch to this new service, and that that it was basically being blocked by lawyers and stuff. Shroud tweeted.
I'm not just ignoring everyone. I'm actually just looking. Shroud hasn't tweeted since the 22nd of June when he just said about appreciating the Mixer community. So, and he's been really silent ever since.
Yeah, so
and no one's mentioned anything. Obviously people you maybe duo with people.
Yeah.
I don't think he has been.
He's maybe just taken something off.
Yeah, he's probably pretty burnt out. Like.
Yeah, but it's a big move for them, or it's a big decision. Probably is the best. They made a big decision. Which to Mixer it didn't work out. We've talked about that, but their next move, want to move to a platform that's it's death. And then the next couple of years, I think they want to move to a platform that's it. That's their final move. So he's got a big decision. Ninja I think Ninja probably did a smart move.
Well, I think it was the best. He had like 160 people or 1,000 people watching him.
Yeah, the first night he had like 100. I think it was 150,000 people watching him, which is insane. And the first video when we had 2.1 million views or something. Madness. It makes sense for him.
That wasn't long. It was offline or something.
17 hours.
Yeah. So
within 24 hours, he did it over. He's going to be fine. I thought no matter what, he was going to be fine. He'd have went somewhere. But he didn't have much options. And I didn't think he was going to go back to Twitch after. He wasn't going to go back there.
And to be fair, he's always right not to go back.
It was never the right move for him. So it was either he was going to YouTube or he was going to tuck his tail between his legs and go back to Twitch.
Well, I don't think that was an option. It was probably going to be YouTube or he was going to make his own.
Yeah, that would make sense too. But yeah, so Ninja's made the move. Shroud has not, and Doc is.
It's just. And wrap your head around it.
No, I am a fan of Doc. We've talked about him a few times in this podcast. Like, I do love Dr. Disrespect, and I think he's probably one of the best streamers in terms of entertainment. He's maybe not the best gamer out there, but you don't have to be a good gamer to. It's the entertainment factor, and he had it down. Production value, everything about it were brilliant, really entertaining, really funny. He built this character and it worked, and now potentially that's it, gone. Now I doubt that his real name's Guy Braham or something, but I doubt that he's struggling for money.
No.
I think he'll be okay.
Well, depending on what type of trouble he's in.
True, but I think he'll be okay in terms financially. I think if this was his retirement, I think he'd be all right, depending on if he is in trouble.
Yeah.
But if he isn't, and he's in a whole bad thing, I think he'd be fine. I think it'd be.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame, and it's a shame to go out that way, and like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's not kind of the way I think. Probably in his mind that he'd want Doctor Disrespect as the character, and he'd have went with it. But
yeah,
it'd been a whole big thing. But it is a big thing, I suppose. This
yeah.
is
Well, it's not like he's, like years ago where gaming wasn't really serious. This is like you'd say show business in
yeah.
terms of like he is a celebrity. May not be on mainstream TV. Well, he is in America with adverts and stuff. He's a celebrity.
And the other side of the coin is the questions that I've kind of been thinking about. You had that TV development now. Is
Yeah.
that gone? See,
I mean, that was
this is
announced last year,
yeah,
start of the year,
yeah,
and I'm sure when he announced it, it wasn't like obviously he was work. They were working on it,
yeah.
so it probably wasn't a stone away from being released this year or started next year.
It's crazy, and like he's only just moved from Fuel to Mountain Dew, and there was a lot of big moves, and there was a lot of big, he Rocat.
Apparently, he was still sponsored by Razer at some point for something. I don't know what. Obviously, he had sponsors coming out of his arse.
Yeah, he did, and so it wasn't as if it'd be different. You kind of would have been able to tell if this was the retirement plan, but it clearly wasn't.
No, he was.
He was
full
making
steams
big
ahead.
moves. Yeah, he was making big moves, making big changes, and it's just kind of.
Yeah.
I hope it's not. I really do hope it's not. I hope he does come back. He does a great big comeback, whether it's on. But I hope that that's not the end of. In fact, I think that would be a real shame.
Yeah.
He's too good.
Well, that's just hoping, saying this now, hopefully he hasn't done anything bad.
Obviously, yeah.
But, if he hasn't done anything bad, and if it was a big misunderstanding, hopefully he just maybe resurrects like that guy, a ghost. Cardinal respect. I don't know, or something like that.
And he means Ghost the band, not the movie, by the way, for people that are like, Patrick Swayze didn't come back to life.
Yeah.
But yes, maybe he'll just resurrect as Doctor Disrespect 2 or something. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But the thing is that it's been 2 weeks of radio silence, and there's been zero news, and I'm starting to feel like we're not going to get any.
Maybe come back as Professor.
Maybe.
But yeah,
Professor Disrespect.
We probably will.
Something will leak eventually. Has to.
And if it doesn't, then stay in the age. How is like? I mean, it's very hard to keep anything secret.
I know that's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like people can get like. No, I don't like Game of Thrones, but people can get like a highly secured script ending shit leaked on the internet, which is like probably locked away. People can get that. I don't know how no one knows what's happening to him. Like,
yeah, and it's bound to come out in one shape or form eventually. And I doubt that as him as a person, very out there and stuff. I doubt that ever going to again.
Yeah,
can't see it at all. But we'll see. We'll have to just wait and see. It's a bit frustrating because I think as as fans and stuff, they kind of are. Now a lot of them have moved to other streamers and stuff, which is great for the other streamers. But at the same time, it's sad for him.
Yeah,
he might have to start from. Well, he's not going to really start from day one.
What do you think of when he had those things with dating thing?
With his wife,
he went radio silent and he went off
6 months.
But he came back and he had more viewers than ever. So he does come back. Everyone's going to go back, but the way I see it is, and we'll just finish up on it. The longer he leaves it, the worse it looks for him.
Yeah, it really can hurt him.
And all the speculations, like I say, is some of our own, heard some from other people. They're not good.
No, there is speculations floating around the internet that are not pleasant. So hopefully they're not true, but we may find out eventually. But yeah, as Yav says, we'll sort of move on from that. The last thing we're really going to cover, we're not doing a long one this week. Next week's going to be even longer because we have the Xbox Conference next Thursday. We're going to record. This is good. These two podcasts are going to be really close together. We're going to record that with Gavin in person.
We're going to do it in person, aren't
we? Yeah. The thing is, we work and stuff. So even if he's just here, and then we can watch it together, and then record it that night or something. Get something to eat and stuff.
Yeah.
So
or so you could maybe get some of your video skills and we'll maybe do a live record, but we'll maybe chop it up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we could do something. We'll think about it over the next week or so. So yeah, this isn't going to be a long one. The last thing we're freaking going with these allegations. So there's two things we're finishing to talk about. Ubisoft. So there's both good and bad with Ubisoft. We'll cross over with the bad quickly.
I take the bad first. No one wants to leave on a low. Like
yeah. So the bad first of all is there's allegations going Ubisoft too. The obviously French company that, for anyone that watches E3 and things like myself, at the end of every Ubisoft conference, that wee Frenchman would come out and he, oh, at Ubisoft we've worked at something, and then they would show something mad like, oh, Rainbow Six, and all. People would go nuts. But yeah, it's him. He's had to step down because there's been allegations of bad things,
Up to
and
no good.
toxic behavior within Ubisoft, and that has led to many other senior people within Ubisoft to step down. So not great press for the company, considering their event is literally, I think, within. So their event was last night. That allegation came
like
out
2 or 3 days beforehand?
Yeah, so 2 or 3 days of really bad press, and then they had their Ubisoft Forward event last night, which is in place of their E3 event, because obviously here. So
Got a ton of good stuff coming,
yeah, and it is a shame. It's a shame. But hopefully the games outshine the bad. Well, not that the outshine the bad. The bad needs to be dealt with. Don't get me wrong. The bad needs to be dealt with. So, well, he stepped down and all that there, and needs to be dealt with. But hopefully the games can sort of, they can help things. Because the Ubisoft, at the end of the day, they work on probably, arguably, they've got the biggest franchises in the industry. So, they've got a lot, as Yav says, they've got a lot of good stuff coming. So we briefly sort of covered off, before we came on, just what they showed. They didn't show a whole lot, but they showed.
No one really does these days.
No, but
especially if you're a Sony fan.
Yeah,
but
we talked about this.
We talked about this.
Yeah. So, basically, they showed sort of, to give the highlights. We've talked about Assassin's Creed a few weeks ago. So they showed actual gameplay, because I had a whole pick up my ass about Xbox not showing gameplay. They showed gameplay. But I think Ubisoft wanted that themselves, which is fair enough.
If they're having their own conference, you kind of want. They're like,
So the show that looked great. Can't wait. Love Assassin's Creed. Vikings, right up my street. Sick. I actually can't wait for that. It's going to be a good one. Other than that, they showed Hyperscape. So Hyperscape came out a couple of weeks ago, and I mentioned it, and I was like, "Here, have you seen Ubisoft's new Battle Royale game?" And his response was shite. Now, the funny thing is 2 nights ago we were talking, and Yaf goes, "Here, Lee, did you see Ubisoft's Battle Royale game?" And I went, "Yaf, I literally brought that up with you about a week ago, and you said it was shite." And you were like, "Oh, I wasn't really listening to you," or something.
I don't really listen to him half the time.
So
I still actually haven't seen any gameplay of it. Just the concept of it seemed pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard really good things. We're going to download it. We'll play it. We will play it. So by next week,
we might have a wee chance before that. Well, obviously we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
The Xbox thing.
Might have a wee brief thing where it's all like, says it's shit.
Yeah, we might have a quick reviews and see what he thought about Hyperscape. We'll play it. We might actually just download it and play it sometime this week. Download it and give it a few games and see what we think. So we will play Hyperscape. I'm quite happy to play it because I've heard good things and I think it looks quite good. I've followed a couple of different videos and watched a couple of different things and I think it looks good. So we'll check it out. So they did show that it's now available open beta, so everyone can download and play. So go check it out. I think it looks good. We'll see what he thinks next week. Ubisoft also showed Watch Dogs. Now we were talking about this briefly before we started as well. I've played all the this is the one. Yeah, Watch Dogs League, third one. I played the first one, completed it. Second one didn't complete. I know. Better than the first one, but it was.
It's just when when like the whole thing about Watch Dogs when it first announced, it was like, holy crap, you can hack anything.
Yep.
It seemed to be pretty good.
The game came out.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Yeah, so long time ago, I remember showing him the video and talking about Watch Dogs, and oh my god, look at paper bags rolling down the street. The graphics were like,
whoa. It's like GTA, only you hack shit.
You hack shit as a hacker, and blah blah blah. And then the game came out, and it was not what they showed. It was not the same.
Yeah, clearly they were not showing that on consoles because the graphics were crap.
And the thing was as well is they'd kind of done the same thing with the First Division.
Yes, they did actually. Yeah, but that was proven though that the first division was being shown supposed to be like Xbox.
Yeah.
Showing on
PC.
Like I don't know, it was like 1080t or
Yeah.
no, sorry, it was Titans.
Titans
Graphics cards. That's
yeah,
what it
yeah,
was.
that's
Yeah,
right.
someone
Yeah,
opened
yeah.
up like the wee dev unit and was had like PC in there.
Yeah, they got
Xbox
done
wasn't even
for
turned
it.
on.
But yeah, so it was like Ubisoft are really bad at doing that sort of thing where they show this really good like in game and it's not necessarily what it's actually, because the PC version wasn't anywhere near what they'd shown there.
Oh, definitely not. No.
So they had to strip everything back and they got really bad accusations. But saying that, I think Watchdog Legion Legion looks really good. It looks really fun. They've kind of went a wee bit more Saints Row with it. They kind of embrace the wackiness.
Yeah.
Rather than
I think it's obviously GTA. Obviously it's in a similar sort of game. Like a sandbox of gaming on it with a quest line. I think.
Yeah.
But GTA is wacky as well. I know I've played Saints Row and I never liked it. It was out there like.
Yeah, it's wacky.
But
this is wacky, and I think in a good way, because like you're not actually one character.
Okay.
You can be multiple. So like in one of the gameplay things they showed you a while ago, I'll show him this after. He'll think it's hilarious. So like it shows you them switching between hackers. So you can turn do one quest.
So it's
line.
like GTA when you switch between like.
Yeah, kind of. But basically, there's like thousands of hackers in London. So it's set in London, and you can be like any of them.
Okay.
So you have a team, and like in the gameplay one, like I've seen, I don't know if anyone else has seen this, but they showed Granny, the game of Granny.
Okay.
And then they go and like do this fucking stealth mission as a Granny.
Oh no, I've seen that. I think I've seen that on YouTube or something. Yeah,
It actually looks like they've went wacky with it, but kind of good wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Grannies could be hackers too, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
They're not being, what.
No, that's not a, there's people out there at all
Of all
generations
ages,
love technology, you know what I mean?
They're not being ageist or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They've opened it up, but yeah, I think it actually looks pretty fun, pretty good. The fact that it's set in London, I haven't had a game set in London since like Getaway.
Never played it.
Never played the Getaway. Yeah, I don't think we've had many games set in London in a long.
Oh, it's always those landmark cities of LA, stuff like that.
It'd be good to see GTA revisit London. I would love that. I think that'd be great if they went back.
Who knows?
And it could be. Right. Who knows? Because you just don't know what Rockstar does. But yeah. So Watch Dogs, more of that. That's out very soon. I think it's been delayed a couple of times, but I think that's again a lot to do with the coronavirus and stuff. Ubisoft are struggling.
Well, I would say like with the release, especially around the.
Oh yeah.
Getting delayed's good.
Yeah.
If they delay things for a year, the game will be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of playing like a friggin' closed open beta that you pay for a year and it's tripe.
That yeah, because the thing was with that last.
Yeah, we played the beta and I didn't buy it.
Awful. That whole open like lobby area, where there was like. No.
You talking about the first one?
Breakpoint.
Which one's that? Is that the one that just came out?
Yeah.
Oh, I never bought it. I only played the
yeah, but
beta.
But you went into like the lobby. It was like in the cave. And it was like an open lobby where you shared it with everyone else.
I know. I never got past like the mission because it was like it was broke for me and I was like, that's shit.
Yeah, but the thing was it had so much potential. They were really smart. You could cover yourself in mud and all. And it was all about camo and things like that. It looked great. It just played awful. Now apparently great. But it's too late. It's too late. It's one of those things. I'd rather delay it and fixed it,
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll finish off with the main highlight of last night. Then it kind of leaked though before their announcement because I was talking to you about it in work.
Yeah, but then again, it was like you really know.
Yeah. You don't
people
know
are good fakes these days,
Yeah, but Far Cry 6 is coming. I really enjoyed Far Cry 5. The Far Cry series.
I only played the third one and didn't really get that much into it.
Yeah, I thought Far Cry 5 was great, so I was really looking forward to the style that they went in with Far Cry 5 with America and all. I thought was great, but I think this one they've really pulled out the stops with the villain. Really.
Yeah.
Big Gustav Frings from Breaking Bad, or I actually don't know the actor's name, which is probably not good of me, but he is a good actor.
Yeah.
Very good actor.
He always portrays the bad guy.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't get any stick.
No, hopefully not.
He does a very
probably
good
will.
bad guy.
Probably will.
Yeah.
Because we watched the trailer before we started because he hadn't seen the trailer yet. I watched it earlier. And he might get stick for handing a kid a hand grenade.
I mean, who gets here, son, or here, hold this grenade while I talk to you for 15 minutes?
Yeah, so basically he does this whole speech about, because he's the president. Basically, the whole game is set around that you have to take down him. He's like a corrupt president. It's kind of set, it looks like in Southern America, Mexico, somewhere like that. And your character, whoever that may be, Danny something I read, your task with basically taking the president down, and he's like a corrupt president. But in the trailer, he hands this young child, about 14, 15, a hand grenade, and takes the pin out and basically tells him to hold it and follow him up to the roof. And the kid holds the hand grenade the whole way up the roof, and he does this whole speech about how the hand grenade represents the country, and if you don't control it and hold it tight, the country goes boom. And then he basically insinuates to drop the hand grenade on the, so there's rats going on below and the police are fighting off the ratters, and he insinuates that basically the kid should drop the hand grenade down off the building, and then that's where it ends. Pretty fucking intense trailer, but really good trailer.
Yeah,
I thought, like you said, holy crap, like the CGI and all is immense.
Obviously I don't know if that's an engine or whatever, probably not, but even at that, it's still very, very good. For Ubisoft, very, very good.
Ubisoft have got really good at those, though. If you look at the Assassin's Creed one for this one, it's phenomenal.
Way to sell your games now.
Yeah. If you can do a really good... trailers are kind of becoming just as... Well, they always were important, but I think these type of trailers now are like movie-type trailers to really draw you in. It's about... Like, everything's turned into this whole telling a story and stuff. People are going to complain Far Cry is too long.
Probably, yeah.
And Assassin's Creed. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I think it's the way to do it, because obviously Blizzard's been doing things like that for years, and they actually started moving away stopped doing it for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a good way of drawing it in. Like, that looks class.
Yeah, it's because like GTA and all the same thing. They tell a story through. Like remember when GTA 5 trailer dropped all those years ago, LA thing, and it was like it was Michael talking over the top of it. Yeah. We actually seen it there at the PlayStation conference. I didn't think
I got excited. And I was like, what? Thought I've heard this 10 years ago.
As soon as Michael started talking, I was like, oh fuck. But that new Far Cry looks very good. So that's another game to look forward to. The thing is we're in the period now where all the announcements are going to be happening.
Microsoft Next. There's going to be a lot of good games over the next 6 months coming out. Like,
yep.
And obviously there's a lot of well, we didn't discuss this before it came on air, but there's a lot of obviously speculations about Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah,
DC Studios.
Yeah, we'll finish on that one. So we might actually find that out next week. Because that would be a good announcement.
I read something as well. It's like something says Phil Spencer or other Xbox executives is like they're not slowing down, because obviously you haven't heard anything from them. They're still not slowing down in banned studios, which to get released, a couple of days or after, thingy's pretty much up for grabs.
That would be a great purchase. So the thing is that what we're talking about is that the rumor just surfaced there that Warner Brothers Studios is in the gaming studios, not the film studios. The gaming studios that Microsoft had approached to buy them. Now Warner Brothers, they have a lot of really good under their belt. So they've NetherRealm, who make Mortal Kombat, and any of the DC sort of fighting games, which have been great. Love Mortal Kombat. They have Rocksteady, who made all the Batman games, which I love. Absolutely love. They're up there with. I didn't even mention them in my favorite games. I probably should have.
You probably should have, yeah.
Because they are fucking great. So Rocksteady, who were the other? Telltale.
Yeah.
They've Telltale as well. So there's a lot of good studios there. So the rumor is that Microsoft had approached to buy them. So with Microsoft's press conference next week, maybe.
Who knows?
Because they usually do. Do you not remember the last couple of E3s they've announced
we've bought these studios? Obviously, they're like the Microsoft Studio things, what they called the collective or something.
Yeah, I can't remember what they called.
But there was some sort of thing, and then they bought freaking 50 studios or something like that there.
Yeah, because they bought Player Unknown. They bought all these wee studios that are all now, and then they've developed a few new studios as well. Like the Initiative, who we've talked about and stuff, and we don't know what they're working on. But I'm very excited for Microsoft's conference. I think because it's all first party.
Yeah.
what the fuck
This is where all the good shit is.
Yeah, and we know Halo's there. They've literally already told us Halo is there. So the fact that they've told us Halo's there, they've kind of broke that. What else have they got?
Yeah.
What have they got to get people go? Oh my
I think
God.
they've got other stuff as well, and then obviously the console too.
I don't think they're going to show it.
You don't think they're going to show it?
But the thing is, they've shown it.
What we're talking about is I'm talking about the lower powered one.
Oh, maybe. Sorry, yeah, maybe. Yeah, so there's a rumor that there's a lower powered Xbox Series X coming out, kind of like Sony's digital edition, but apparently the lower powered
still going
to be more powerful than the PlayStation.
On par with a Xbox One X, but whatever way they've done it, it's still going to be more powerful than the
PlayStation 5, which is that's kind of funny. But we'll see. It's all speculation at the minute, so. I'm very excited I'm sure you are too.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that now, when you watch an Xbox conference, you're not just kind of watching it going, shit, I need to buy an Xbox. It's coming out in PC too.
Yeah.
It's something that you get excited about, and I think that's a really good. That's obviously we've talked about how good of a move that Microsoft have made the platform, but so next Thursday we'll be recording the podcast, so hopefully that'll be up for then. Other than that, that's basically us.
Yeah.
This week We've done actually longer than I thought we would.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a half an hour job, but just Lee talks a lot of crap.
Yeah, this is it. But this is why you do a podcast, is to sort of talk about shit.
That's it.
But guys, so we will be back again next week, so it won't be a 2-week break this time. I know there was no podcast last week, but we kind of pushed it to this because we were off.
What also as well, I think we were trying to see whenever because we knew the Xbox was going to come somewhere in between that, but obviously we didn't want to leave it too long.
Yeah, so we did push it off just to hope, because we thought the Xbox One might have been at the start of July here, and it didn't. They've kind of left it to the end, so which is fine. So we recorded this one just on any over the last few weeks. So, but apart from that's as I said, that's pretty much all from us. Then, it's been weird. It
has been weird,
but we'll get used to it.
Yep.
And next week we'll have Goku Field Guy with us to talk about Microsoft's conference, and let's see who won. I'm going to put Microsoft because I don't hard to beat that Sony one.
Yeah, no.
That's
Microsoft all the way.
Yeah, Microsoft all the way. That'll be our closing remarks. So we'll see you next week. Bye.